a more wrap-up of the words of power. And this is about sounds and chanting and prayer. My preferred way of doing is by repetition. When I repeat, just like in the Enochian, it takes hours. Sometimes you repeat a long thing for 7 times and so on, and you wait. And I climb to the other realms with that by reciting, let's say, prayers and so on. I just climb up the ladder that way. But then, of course, we have the shamanist and other magicians do it differently, and witchcraft and all those things. And one thing that I always remember was when the shaman, he was born 1880, but when they danced around, or not danced, but it was like a howling like a wolf or an animal with the fur of the animals and so on. And it was quite interesting to see as a young kid. Nothing like you see in modern day, even if they try to... But that was without any psychotropics and that kind of thing. They didn't need those. A true shaman don't need. They use that sometimes in some ritual, like with the reindeer, that the reindeer has eaten something and then they drink the milk of that reindeer. But that is very rare, and that is more for those who come to witness the event than for the shaman itself. And then we have the using of rhythmic words with frenzy and trance. And especially when you're in a group, when you join and unite with the same words and trance state, it creates a sound, a bound vibration of a kind, whether it's low or high, it depends. And all strange words, when you put like... when you mix up the letters from God names and so on, and your mind don't know what it's seeing, and your mouth don't recognize it, and that's when you get into a slight altered state of self-hypnosis there. So sometimes when you read those barbarous words like in Egyptian magic or Greek Egyptian magic and that kind of thing, they are so strange. So that itself is a trigger there. But something I do is vibration within my body. And that's why I always like to have fasted at least 12 hours before my sunrise ritual. Since I can feel it if it's in my gut, I feel the vibration within my gut, throat and up to my head and chakras, or however you now call it. And I get it more clear if I haven't eaten. Only drank water or tea. And here's one tip that really helps. If you hold your ears and cover them really tightly, and then you tap with your fingers the back of your head or neck, you hear the drumming sound within your skull. And if you then try to utter words or sing words, it is a completely different experience. And this is not like a trance work of magic like that, but you might feel and see what is right for you when you start to feel and hear differently. And then we have a sense deprivation of eyes and ears and tapping. It always works, and your senses heighten. So this is a warning for kids. When you put a light, let's say a light pebble stone, so you have your fingertips on your eyes and you lay down. After 5 to 15 minutes you will see visuals floating around in your eyes, and then you can remove the weight from your eyes or your fingers, and these visuals will be floating with your eyes open, so you have difficulty to walk and so, since you have these visuals coming in with your eyes open. And that can be very scary, especially if you're scared of magic. You might have demons floating around in your eyes that you feel that they are standing right before you. So I just say this as a warning, since people play pranks, especially kids. And there's been quite a traumatic events with the kids playing this with the eyes. Same as with that they hold their breath too long. And one other thing is to try different pitches of voice, like low voice, really getting it into your, and then high and soft and hard and rhythmic and chanting, and feel what it feels like within your body at the same time. And glossolalia and throat singing are, I just throw them in for balance. It is just like that your head is in one space and your vocal cords are relaxed and your breathing creates one more extra sound to it and so on. I don't really know the words for it to explain it better. So even in churches, most churches don't recognize glossolalia as a sign of anything more that you are in a heightened state of experience, and it can go dark or light depending on the mood and so on. And here is some wise words from Eliphas Levi. With the name of Yod-He-Vav-He, one commands nature. Kingdoms are conquered in the name of Adonai, and the occult forces which compare the empire of Hermes are one and all obedient to him, who knows how to pronounce the uncommunicable name of Agla. And that's something nobody has been able to do yet. And I think it will be Christ who only knows that how to say it. And different lodges and groups and the occult and so on have different styles and sound. I use Eaoe as a chant, and many in witchcraft use the I-E-O-U, this Greek word here, and it was especially since Gardner and those days when Wicca became, they took the Greek words and connected them to all the Greek pantheon, and it was spinning, scourging, trance and ecstasy work and so on to get into the heightened states. But they are, as I did in one other video of the Words of Power, they are related. So this was just something that whatever your language is and however you sound it, it's how you mean it, the emotions behind the words, the focus and what you're trying to get. And where does it vibrate for you, and where does it feel good, and where do you get that? If it's lukewarm and you don't feel anything, and it doesn't give you anything, then try a different method. But don't be afraid to try, and angels know that you are trying, and you don't need any kind of trance work or ecstasy or anything like that to connect to them. It's just call out to God, and then you have access to angels. So it can be as simple as that. But when you really want to work magic and evolve and learn from the angels, that's when you, in the beginning everything works well, and then comes the power of study when the angels want you to study so you really know what you are doing, since they want you to know and learn and understand. So they always, and that's different for every person, but every angel teaches you and guides you. So whatever the part looks like, I don't know, and we all have different parts, but one thing I know, that they're always close by and ready, and have a magical day. Bye for now.